And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. That'll be taken in the end zone. Shedding through the defense, and he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, Jackson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Following the interception, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
First down, Mayfield. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles. But also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Zadarius Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. So now on comes the field goal unit. And, wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this will remain a scoreless game. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. This time, Jackson will throw it. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Mayfield looks to throw, and he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Detroit!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to float this up. And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Ravens have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. It's caught. Beckham. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the 1st quarter. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Zadarius Smith in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Lucky 56.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys. Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Watch it now, Barney.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And they'll run it here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On 3rd down, that's Hunt. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Mayfield now. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
Now let's go!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
You got him. You got him. You got him. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hey, watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On third down, Jackson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Over.
A toss play to Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Mayfield to throw it. Steps away to his left. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The Browns on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll toss it to Hunt. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Hugh Jackson rolls the dice, but it doesn't work for him. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Now Jackson on second down. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. There he goes right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Jackson now trying to lay. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Throwing, Mayfield. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. A first scoring update now from Carolina. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. And the Browns getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Touchdown, Ravens.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Down. The Ravens able to get to him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Final play of the half, Mayfield. Going for the deep ball. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Browns get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before.
It's caught inside the 25. And way down into the red zone before he's dropped inside of Cleveland's 15. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 61 yards. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Wide open receiver complete. But he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
Hey, check. 3 down. Watch the slant. Motion.
Here's Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mayfield firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might walk.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On second down, Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 40. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Following the interception, Mayfield. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Oh, and now he pulls him over. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need...
And he takes this one in for a Browns score. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Green, 39.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second down, here's Jackson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 36 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He'll buy some time right. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long for Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Landry now on the return. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a handoff looking right. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go play action with Jackson on the move to his left. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Mayfield looks to throw. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So left side, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Mayfield on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They run with Hunt. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Mayfield on fourth down. Open man has got it. It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The Browns on third down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
First down, Mayfield. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they try the right side here. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes left side. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 19, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across the 20 to the 22.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Browns, They go down to defeat for just the second time in 11 games so far. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. He'll drop to throw. And he's got Snead. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Willie Snead, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and it's now a 7-0 game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll run it here. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And a give this time to the tailback. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Third and 2, Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now it's Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
Reset.
Now a handoff working right. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try to maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And now out comes Houston. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
Flushed out right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. In for the score. And the Texans are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Michelle. And an out to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34. After the interception, here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Over the middle, complete. That's Harmon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. But likely not for long, as they're in punt formation to kick it away. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Texans, Will Fuller. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And they'll go on the ground. And not a whole lot pickup to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing on third down, Watson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with third and just a yard.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Watson. He's got Fuller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans will extend their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance.
All right, here we go.
There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Taken in at the 22. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Here's Watson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down, here's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. first down. It's Watson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jaron Reed able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Watson, now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. The offense on third down tonight, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. From the gun, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking to throw on second down. Watson eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A huge play there for Houston. 54 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there. We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Richmond. Come back. Richmond.
Off of play action, it's Watson being chased out left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Watson looking to throw on second down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans add on.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught by Snead over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On play action, they'll throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Larry Ogunjobi, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear.
That is
time we have to leave the booth.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
On 1st down, Watson. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now they try the right side here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Reset. Tiger.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Black 99 Philly. Come back.
From the red zone now, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Texans continue to pour it on. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Patriots. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
New England on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Tiger. Reset. Hey.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Richmond.
Now it's Watson. Steps away to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Back to throw, Watson.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. To Michelle on the dump off. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And
because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. Opens up to run extra plays, harder to move it.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and he'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Black 99, feel it. Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
To throw is Watson. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Michael Brockers in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd down and 12.
Tiger.
And with the play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Reset.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Watson, off play action. Flush to his right. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for 1 more 1st down to help salt this one away. Now a play fake, and it's Watson rolling to his left. And that is incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
3-19!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Caught right side at Snead. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39! Green!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll check this one down to Michel, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harmon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Harmon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, not much more to say. They dropped to 1-11. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
You